put on my jacket. It's about right. Yeah? People still coming in? Let's click us on. I'm hoping I can click. Yes, Big Local Connects is back. Hey! Who's been to a Big Local Connects before? I can't say. Who hasn't been to a Big Local Connects before? Well, you're all going to enjoy it because it's absolutely brilliant. We've got so much happening this year. There's so much brilliant stuff. I'm going to talk a bit about that in a few minutes, but it's fantastic. We're all back. We made it through. We're here. It's been 2 years, and it's so good to see so many old faces, so many people I've met on visits, so many new faces, new people who've come together in Big Local. And I guess the big feeling you get is it's not just Big Local Connects that's back. It's Big Local that's back. We're all here. We're still doing great things in communities. We're still doing amazing, innovative stuff. We're changing the world. We're changing the world one street at a time. And I guess this is taking a little bit of time to click. There we go. So do you remember that? How many of you got involved in cooking food for your community? Because, say Big Local was back. Actually, Big Local never went away, did it? Because in so many communities right across the country, it was people involved in Big Locals. It was groups working with Big Locals. It was the hubs we were running that were sorting out the food, that were delivering stuff to people who otherwise couldn't get out of their houses, who were making masks in the early days of the crisis when there wasn't enough PPE for our health workers, who were decorating the town overnight with fuzzy things. COVID sent us all pom-poms. Yeah, COVID sent us crazy as a nation, didn't it? And who just did so much other stuff. Stay-at-home street parties. I have no idea what this was about. Does anybody remember which area it was that? Was it Netherton who dressed up as rabbits and did street aerobics? There was testing taking place in centres. There was work going on with the vulnerable. There was Christmas shows to keep spirits up. Big Local kept communities together during COVID. All of you here, working as individuals, working together, bringing in your friends, finding new volunteers. You all made the last 2 years better for your communities than it would have been. Some of you, actually, give yourselves a round of applause. You were all brilliant. Of course, the pandemic wasn't all great. We had a lot of this, and this, and this, and this, and even some of this. This is the first outing of Jackie. Who came to Connects online last year? We actually had. We've got here this time round. We've got over 400 people from 117 areas who've come together, which is absolutely brilliant. We had as many people came together online last year. It's what gave us the confidence we could get everybody back again face to face. Because actually Big Local isn't just about doing stuff in your own communities. It's about working together, and it's about creating a community as a whole, the whole Big Local family that comes together, that shares inspiration, that shares ideas and experience, that makes it better for all of us. And since lockdown eased, I've been out and seen what some of you have been up to. Some people in Bolton doing strange things with vegetables. I've seen some, if I can get on to the next slide. I've done Tai Chi in Keighley Valley, cricket in Greenmoor in Bradford, been to Tootle in Swindon. I think there's an online session that's been beamed in here from Swindon. They couldn't make it here, but they're taking on an amazing pub, abandoned pub, and going to turn it into an amazing community resource over the next year. I was in Birchfield looking at some amazing graffiti, and the guy in the middle there is just the most spectacular, internationally famous photographer, and he was doing work all the way through lockdown, helping people in Birchfield tell their story, and that's just that's something phenomenal in its own right. Go on our website and have a look at that. I've been to places which are about to take on new community buildings. This is Mossley in Walsall, who've just got hold of a youth club that's been closed for 6 years. They've been fighting for that time to try and get it open again, and finally, with a change of control in the council, they've been sold the centre, and that's due to open and become an amazing resource Sadly, when I arrived, we couldn't find the keys to get into the building, but I'm told I'm told that behind those shutters, it's going to be really fantastic. Been to Peterborough. This is Ravensbrook and Westfield to look at their phenomenal community garden. Actually, an amazing story there of a project which is fantastic in its own right. It's a community garden connected to a community cafe that perhaps before COVID had struggled to actually connect with the community. Maybe some people didn't take as much notice of it as they might. But during lockdown, the community cafe was right at the heart of food distribution work in their neighbourhood. And actually the connection that's now been built up between the cafe and the community means that it's got a real chance as a thriving community resource. And that's a story I've heard in lots of big locals I've visited, that actually COVID was difficult, it was traumatic, sometimes it was just frankly sad what was happening, whether it was people getting ill, people really sadly passing, or people losing their jobs and livelihoods. But at the same time, for some big locals, for many big locals, it was also a time for self-discovery, for thinking about what more you could do for your community, for building really strong relationships with other agencies in the community sector, in local government, and doing even more. And I think this is a great example of that in place. I've also been out and had beer with the Leeds Millionaires. Thanks for that. It was nice to get out just after lockdown into a newly opened pub. And I was out in Hilltop and Caldwell in Nuneaton, where they were just about to open a new community hub, probably the first community post-lockdown community hub. And you can see Anne there with the mayor cutting the ribbon to open the doors on what's going to be an absolutely fantastic building and resource. And there have been other hubs that have done well. The Blackpool Revo hub is tiny. It's a tiny house with like 3 or 4 rooms, the biggest of which probably takes about 6 people. But during lockdown, there were an awful lot of kids who simply weren't getting fed because they weren't going to school, they weren't getting their free school meals, they weren't necessarily getting looked after. And the big local there opened its doors to the kids outside, brought them in, looked after them, helped them with their homework, helped them get fed. It made a difference. But there's been light-hearted stuff as well. This is Uncle Bumble in Heart of Sidley. Heart of Sidley here? Yeah. We walked with a butterfly and Uncle Bumble through the streets of Sidley, announcing the fact that the big local was there with a parade of children following us. But we'll have a parade tomorrow, I think, in Connects, which you'll enjoy as well. There's been parks opened. This is in Whitley down near Plymouth. Star Park, and this is another park we've been to. Sale West, I think I saw Ralph earlier. Sale West was one of a number of areas that welcomed big local trustees to come and visit, and this is a fantastic peace garden right in the centre of their community. So there's loads going on. Indeed. Is there somebody from Wolverhampton over there? So this is in Wolverhampton. Scottons and Bushbury Hill invited their local MP in to show off what they've been doing in their community centre. They gave their local MP the recipe book they use, which helps teach local people how to feed a family of 4 for a week for 44 quid. She was so impressed that she brought it straight into Parliament and showed it to the Secretary of State for Health, Sajid Javid, who's kept it apparently. But we've had a fair amount of political engagement and political interest recently. We've got Jeff here from Stoke North. Jeff, are you in the audience? Jeff came to the Labour conference, sitting next to the Shadow Minister for Community, Steve Reed, talking about the big local experience to a room full of people from the Labour Party. We had Alison from Little Holton, was at the Conservative Party conference, sitting there with 3 government ministers and a PPS, telling the big local story to an audience there. They were so impressed as the guy at the front who immediately came off stage gave her 20 quid to contribute to the cost of their community hub. And I think it's fair to say that actually over the last year, looking to both sides of the political divide, there's been more interest that we found, certainly talking to MPs, talking to government officials, talking to people working for the Labour Party. There's been more interest in big local than we've ever seen before. We might still be a little way away from seeing new policies coming forward which are all about community-based regeneration, but there are definitely people interested in hearing our story and learning from what we've done. And there's now an all-party parliamentary group of MPs that brings together about 90 politicians from all sides of Parliament just to talk about issues relevant to big locals, to left-behind neighbourhoods, and a lot of that's founded on the evidence that we've been able to bring together, drawing on everything that you've been doing from across the the Big Local family. And at every single meeting of the all-party parliamentary group of MPs, we've always had at least one person from a Big Local area there sitting at the top table telling people how it is. I'm told I've got 1 minute, so I'm going to be quick. I thought I'd just put this up as a slide to remind us that we're reaching the finish line. It feels a long time away, but actually we've got about 4.5 years left of this programme. It's been a brilliant programme. There's another brilliant 4-5 years to go. But we're all now starting to think about legacy, and I think that's something that I hope you'll have conversations about over the next few days. It's something you'll think about in the context of some of the events that you're going to. We do know that some of you have got quite a lot of money left to spend, and some of you will be looking out therefore to others for inspiration around what could you do, what big money could you spend to make a difference. There'll be some of you who've committed a lot of money and are just getting ready to deliver it, and you'll be looking out for people from other areas who've perhaps delivered similar projects who can help think about the practicalities of that. And there'll be an awful lot of you there who are quite a way through Big Local. I was talking to somebody who'd come in from Northampton, which has got £60,000 left, who've been almost all the way through the process, and will have some real stories and experience to share, and please do meet them, get on with it. So over the next day and a half, meet with people, talk, share experiences, learn. There's going to be some great sessions over any number of sessions over the next few days. Split up if you're in groups. Try and get to as many of different ones as you can. Meet new people. Meet interesting people. I'm not sure if our lion is... Is the lion here? Oh, okay. Look out for the lion. And most of all, please do have fun. Now, I'm going to give you... There's a bunch of housekeeping that I've got to race through, so I will, and there's some important stuff now to run through. First of all, fire drills. We haven't got any fire drills planned, but if an alarm does go out, make your way out through the nearest exit. There's a gathering point, a fire assembly point in the car park opposite the main entrance, or if you're in the hotel, just on the right-hand side of the conference centre entrance. So look out for that if you need to. Smoking, there are some designated smoking areas, so please stick to those. There's one on the right-hand side of the hotel entrance and on the right-hand side of the conference centre entrance. Please don't smoke elsewhere, even outside. On COVID, we put some measures in place to try and make this as safe as we can, and we're fairly socially distanced here. We do want to try to ensure everybody's safety, and we are aware of it at a time where we're not out of the woods yet. So, with winter approaching, colds going round, we're asking please do wear masks if you're sitting in meetings and you're not speaking, or if you're moving around the venue. To give you a bit of reassurance, that the conference centre have assured us that the air conditioning here is good quality. It's drawing in air from outside and then pumping it out again, so it's not being recirculated within the building, so ventilation is good, and it won't be recycled air. We'll open the windows wherever we can. In your yellow tote bag, I'll talk about that in a second, there is some hand gel if you want that, and otherwise there's bottles around the centre. You'll see also that there are lanyards. Some of you will have black lanyards, some of you will have white lanyards. White lanyards indicate that you're happy for people to shake your hand, or to engage in physical contact. If there's a black lanyard, it means you're not happy with that or comfortable with that. So please do make sure you're wearing the right lanyard. If you want to swap it, you can back at reception, but also respect other people's choices. What else? Tote bags. Has everybody got their tote bag? You all got a tote bag? Yeah, excellent. Okay, who's been through their tote bag? Yeah, okay, so you know that there's some important stuff in there. There's a whole lot of stuff in here about the programme, so you've all got that. It'll help you guide your way through the day. Has everybody found the postcard? Okay, so the postcard is important. You put your details on that, you put that into the letterbox, and there's going to be a draw to win 1,000 plant bulbs to plant in your community. We'll be drawing that tomorrow, so if you want a chance to win 1,000 bulbs, go for that. Really, really important. Has everybody found those? Hot chocolate tokens, yeah? Spend them outside at the cart outside. The conference area, extra local, you've all got that. Your newspaper, there's going to be plenty of copies of that spare as well. If you want spare copies to bring back to your area, then ask somebody, or if you don't see piles around, and pick them up and bring them home, because there's a lot of good stuff there. And there's some conversation cards as well, so people who want to, icebreakers, if you want to go up and talk to somebody, use a card. I've got one more minute of housekeeping, so I'm going to rush through the rest. Bring them home and use them in your area. There are loads of new things happening. We're going to have a film show here. When there's not stuff going on in here, there's going to be a load of stuff from Hamnet Films. There's a talking tent session, opportunities to network. We've got an exhibition called The Long Lost Year. Some of you have taken part in that over the last few months. Sharing experiences of loss during the pandemic. We've got a radio show. So we've got a live radio show. We've got Chris Allen. We've got Tarek from Heston West as well. Both are going to be broadcasting over the next couple of days. If you want to tune in on that on your mobile, there's a QR code in the programme. The online attendees, look for Big Local Connect radio banner at the top of the page. Downtime. There are places, if you find this all too exciting, and frankly it is going to be exciting, there's some spaces in the Orchard Hotel and then the wellbeing drop-offs, the wellbeing space upstairs in this centre where you can go and just be a bit quieter. Maybe take a break, recharge, refuel. There's a bunch of other stuff. We've got some poets with us. Where are the poets? Oh, yeah. So the poets over there, they're going to be taking photographs, they're going to be writing poetry, they're going to be sharing that with us later from Par Bay in Cornwall, Kingswood and Hazel Lees in Corby. They're going to be using everything they see to create their performance for us at the end of the event. Very, very quickly, finally, coaches. There's coaches to get you between the venue and off-site hotels if you're an off-site hotel today and tomorrow. After our meal this evening, there's going to be coaches taking you back at 10 p.m. So please don't miss them. Otherwise, you may, there's lovely fields out here, but it's a bit late in the year to yeah. And do check for checkout times and other stuff for tomorrow. But you can check with a member of staff at the hotel if somebody in a t-shirt if you need to clarify things. All session rooms are going to have a hearing loop. So if you've got hearing difficulties and you've got a hearing aid, they're all on a loop. What it does mean is please use a microphone if you're speaking. And we've got a photographer with us who's going to be doing lots of photography and recording. If you're taking photographs, please do. But if you see somebody with a yellow lanyard, this means that they don't want their photograph taken. So again, please respect that. I'm going to stop now and hand over to the star of the plenary. The guy who's going to talk to you about where we're all going to be going next. I'd like to introduce Mark Stevenson. He's labelled as the reluctant futurist for reasons I'm sure he's going to explain, but he's a futurist, a futures thinker who's been thinking about where the world's going next, about climate change, about systems. He's been advising government at big corporations. He told me that he was delighted to be here because normally he comes onto a stage to tell people off for not doing enough to save the planet. Hopefully he'll have a different message for you, but he's probably going to talk to you for about 15-20 minutes and then we have an opportunity for some questions, and it feels like a really, really great way to kick off what's going to be a fantastic event. But again, thank you all so much for coming and enjoy Big Local Connects. Thank you so much for an inspiring talk, something that will get us all in a mood to look forward to the next 5 years as we go through the next 2 days of Connects, but actually to get you in an even better mood. We've got something really fantastic now. We've got two choirs. We've got the Beeston Tuneless Choir and the West Bridgford Choir, and they're going to take us through I guess what's now become a traditional Big Local Connect sing-song. Over to you guys.
Hello everyone. We are from two of the tuneless choirs in Nottingham, the Beeston Tuneless Choir and the West Bridgford Tuneless Choir. This is by no means all of us. Tuneless choirs were started in 2016 by two people living in Nottingham. Bernie is one of them. She's here with us tonight, this afternoon even. It's dark in here. And tuneless choirs are for people who can't sing, essentially, feel like they can't sing, have been told to be quiet, but love singing anyway. So our strapline is Singing Like No One Is Listening. They are national, they are franchised. We have around about 30 plus choirs in the whole of the UK. and we're going to do a bit of our stuff with you now. And we really, really hope that you will join in, because that's the point of tuneless choirs. Okay? Grand. Off we go then.
Hi everyone. As Mary says, I'm Bernie, and what we're going to do now is I'm going to invite you to stand up if you can or if you care to, and we're going to do a little bit of a warm-up, because our whole bodies are our instruments and we need to just warm them up. So I'm going to sing a little tune for you while you get yourself sorted. It goes like this. Excitement already. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball, like a ping pong ball. And then we go with a ping, with a pong, with a ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong, ping pong ball, with a ping, with a pong. Ping. And that's it. So very easy, except we're going to include a little bit of difficulty now. We're going to do a few moves. So, whenever you get to the word ping, you're going to stamp, okay? When you get to the word pong, you're going to clap. And when you get to the word ball, arm in the air. And I think, should we all go for the right arm so that we're not knocking anybody out next to each other? So, I'm going to hand this back to Mary. I think we can do it without the microphone. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Papa's got a head like a ping pong ball. Like a ping with a ping pong ball. With a ping with a pong with a ping pong. Ping with a pong with a ping pong ball. Now you've got it. We're going to do it with the other hand.
Fab. That was one of our fab warm-ups for singing. So we're off now with some songs that you will recognise. I hope you'll feel happy staying standing up. If you don't, feel free to remain seated. Singing is generally easier, better when we're standing up. So a song that you will all recognise. Yeah? Tony Christie's Amarillo, with a backing track. Keep an eye on us, because Bernie and I, hopefully, and the rest of us will be showing you when to come in and not. And off we go.
When the day is dawning on a Texas Sunday morning, how I long to be there with Marie, who's waiting for me there. Every lonely city where I hang my hat, and it's half as pretty as where my baby's at. This is the way to Amarillo. Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 my Marie who waits for me. There's a church bell ringing, hear the sound of joy that is singing, Holy Sweet Maria, and the guide is coming to see her. Just beyond the highway, there's an open bay, and it keeps me going through the rain. Is this the way to Amarillo? Every night I've been hugging my pillow, dreaming dreams of Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Show me the way to Amarillo. I've been weeping like a willow, crying over Amarillo, and sweet Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, 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 Anne-Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, Anne-Marie who waits for me. Sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, sha-la-la-la-la-la-la, Anne-Marie who waits for me.
But lovely. Let's keep going. Here's another one you'll recognise. Off we go.
Where it began, I can't begin to know it, but then I know it's growing strong.
Loving the puppets. Puppet dancing.
me. Anything you want is yours now. Only nothing's for free. Lies are gonna get you someday. Just wait and see. So open up your beach umbrella while you're watching TV. And it's hi-ho, silver lining. Anywhere you go now, baby, I see your sun is shining. That I will make a fuss. Though it's obvious.
Make it up.
Anywhere you go now, baby, I see your sun is shining, but I will make a fuss. Though it's obvious, and it's hi-ho, silver lining. Anywhere you go now, baby, I see your sun is shining, but I will make a fuss. Though it's obvious.
Thank you very much. Tuneless choirs are all around the country. Google us if you'd like to join a tuneless choir. It's been great fun joining you at Big Local. Thank you.
That was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so Big Local Connects has started. Get off to the first sessions.